What's up, future millionaires? My name is David Pere, and I'm the guy telling his story from military, still active duty, all the way up to millionaire, which is the goal and beyond. And I was thinking as we were getting the stimulus check, like, what would some of these guys do with it? Because as you guys probably know, the original wave of the stimulus, you did not get it if you made over a certain dollar amount. I think it was like $79,000 if you were single, or like 140 as a family. It just kind of phased down, right? So true millionaires did not earn a stimulus check, right? But what would somebody who is a millionaire do with the stimulus was my question. And I couldn't figure out, there were a lot of answers that kept floating into my head. And I thought, go back to my roots, let me ask a few. And then I had this idea. I was actually watching a Pat Flynn video, and I had this idea to use a question to ask a bunch of millionaires what they would do if they were eligible for the stimulus. So the question is, what would you do with the stimulus check if you were eligible? I compiled 7 great answers from millionaires that I know personally who are just crushing it. And these answers are very diverse, but very actionable, and I definitely recommend you listen all the way through because I didn't put these in any order. So from the first one to the last one, they're all rock stars. They've all got a different point of view, and this is really, really going to help you, because if you want to build wealth, there is no better way to do it than to take advantage of listening to people who are farther down the road than you are and hear what they would do if they were in your shoes right now. But before we roll into the intro, I want you to comment down below what you think is going to be the number one answer in this video. We're coming out of the gate with a straight rock star. This is Jay Scott of the Bigger Pockets Business Podcast, the book on flipping houses, the book on estimating rehab costs, the book on recession-proof real estate investing. Jay is a legend, and here's his advice.
Hey there, everybody. Jay Scott here. For anybody out there that may be getting a stimulus check over the next couple of weeks, or maybe you just received one and you're trying to figure out the best way to spend it to further your investing goals, here's my best recommendation. For now, I'd be sitting on that money, putting it in a safe place, and watching the market closely and carefully. Over the next several weeks, maybe the next several months, I have a feeling that there are going to be a lot of opportunities that emerge depending on what happens with the economy, what happens with the real estate market. And once those opportunities start to emerge, that's going to be the time that you should be thinking about how to spend that money. So put it away in a safe place, follow the market, follow the economy, see where those opportunities emerge. Follow David, follow me, and just keep your ear to the ground. Once those opportunities start to emerge, it's going to be a lot more clear on the best way to invest that money for optimum returns. But I think right now isn't the best time. And if I were you, and what I'm doing right now is kind of sitting back, waiting, taking everything in, and seeing where things head. Don't be impatient. Don't feel the obligation to spend that money right away or invest right away. Nothing wrong with sitting back and waiting for a better time to see where things are headed. Okay, so again, I'm Jay Scott. Thanks so much.
As I mentioned before that clip, Jay wrote Recession-Proof Real Estate Investing. He understands a thing or two about what it takes to survive a recession. He's been through them. He's changed his styles throughout. So when Jay is saying to hold on to some cash and look for opportunities, to me, that says hold on to cash and look for opportunities. So I would definitely take note of that one. I feel like I need to puff my chest and stand sideways to introduce this one. This next guest is John Sonmez, who is the host of the Bulldog Mindset YouTube channel, as well as simpleprogrammer.com and a whole bunch of other stuff. Now, John and I met at FinCon 2018 in Orlando when he pulled me under his wing as a speaker and mentored me on growing a YouTube channel, Instagram, and some of that basic stuff. Now, John is a prolific YouTuber, and he's also shredded. I mean, the guy is a beast. And actually, we've gotten to hang out once or twice here in San Diego. We talk every now and then. John is a really cool guy, but his advice is awesome.
So if I were eligible for stimulus, how would I spend it? That's a good question. I've got a really good answer for you. I would spend it on myself, on personal development. It doesn't make very much sense to try and invest a small amount of money. One of the biggest things that I tell guys all the time that are asking me how to invest $1,000 or even $10,000, and they see me investing in real estate, they see me investing in other things, and they're asking about options and S&P 500 indexes and municipal bonds, my answer is really, really simple. That small amount of money, even compounding, isn't going to amount to much for a very, very long period of time. So the best investment that you can make, number one, is investing in yourself so that you can make more money, where you can make something like $20, $30, $50,000 that you can invest, which is going to be significant and which is going to actually give you a good return. The second best place that you can invest the money would be in your own business, which is sort of the same thing as investing in yourself. But if you can invest in your business, that's where you can get thousands of % returns on your money. So if I had the stimulus check, which I don't, then I would invest it in myself, buying some online training, buying some online courses, education, buying books, a lot of books you can buy for that amount of money, tools that you might need in order to improve yourself, to develop yourself, and to learn and increase your knowledge, or some tools for starting your own business or side gig. That's always going to be beneficial.
I could not agree more with John that personal development and investing in yourself is huge, but I like that he also put in the extra invest in your business, and then he kind of niched down to point out that that can be taking a course on a specific skill set that you want to learn that will help you build your business, or investing in something that will bring you revenue. Like I recently bought a new camera, and assuming that this camera puts out good quality and I'm able to produce more content, that will help the business grow. So I definitely agree with everything John said, and I wasn't joking, big dude, which is why when John said smash the like button in his segment, which if you missed that, you can go back and listen to it again, but when he told you to smash the like button, I really hope you click that button, because I wouldn't want him coming after you. So, and because it helps the YouTube algorithm, and I really appreciate it. Thanks. Next up, we have Gabriel Hamel, who is a seller financing legend and still the #1 downloaded podcast on the Military Millionaire podcast, and Diamond Push-Up world record holder, also another stud. I got introduced to Gabriel because he was on the Bigger Pockets podcast, and I first met him at BPCon last year. Just an awesome, awesome guy and another military veteran. So hats off to you. Take it away.
All right, I was asked what I would recommend someone do with their stimulus money if they're eligible to receive that money or have already received that money. So here's what I would recommend. Spend a couple dollars on the book Rich Dad Poor Dad if you haven't already read that book. Spend a couple dollars on the book Think and Grow Rich, and then I would save the rest of it. Unless you absolutely need that extra money for your basic needs, the things that you really, really need, save it for your next low money down real estate deal. There's so many free resources and great podcasts, Bigger Pockets, Military to Millionaire podcast, just so many great free resources. I would save that money for your next low money down real estate deal. That's what I would recommend.
Obviously, if you can't tell by the fact that it's right there, I agree with him on reading the book Rich Dad Poor Dad. I also agree that he mentioned saving money for your next low money down deal. Now, you notice he didn't say no money down deal, although I know that he has bought some of those, but he's not over promising. He is stating there are a lot of deals out there you can buy with low money out of pocket, and you could quite possibly take this stimulus and roll it into a real estate asset that will pay you for a long time. Next up, we have Joseph Hogue of the Bowtie Nation, fellow Marine Corps veteran, and the Let's Talk Money YouTube channel. Joseph is a really cool guy who's helped me out a lot with my YouTube channel. In fact, he even helped me find an editor, which is just awesome. And without further ado,
hey there, hard chargers. Joseph Hogue with the Bowtie Nation here on Let's Talk Money with a couple of ideas for investing that stimulus bonus check. Now, you could invest that money in stocks, but that's not going to make you rich. I feel like I want to say invest in some good business books or courses, but you've probably already heard that, right? So how about this? Invest in the one thing that you can't buy, and that's time. Use half your stimulus check to buy yourself a week off work. Just take the week off, even if it's unpaid. Now that week, your new job is to learn every online business you can, the different ideas, how they make money, and how to make it successful. You see, the beauty of this is that most online businesses like owning websites, Amazon FBA, and yes, even becoming the next YouTube star, these can all be started on next to nothing, maybe even a few $100s. The trick, though, is that you need to find that perfect balance, that business idea that comes from a place of passion for you. What are you going to want to do, working nights and weekends doing before you start making money, and still be happy with it? This will make you rich, but it's going to take some soul searching to figure out what that is and what that means for you.
Well, Joseph, you were right. There were definitely other people mentioning that you could invest in yourself, in books, stocks. Yes, that's a valid possibility, but I absolutely love what you said here about buying a week of your time off. I think that's huge. I had actually talked about taking an entire week of leave at one point, not necessarily to learn a new skill, but to take that week of leave and structure it as though I was self-employed, to give myself a balance check to make sure that I was going to be able to execute what I needed to execute when I was full-time self-employed, because I was worried that if I didn't give myself a trial run, I might get out of the military and realize that I'm not productive during the day for myself, and that would be bad. So I absolutely agree with this. I think taking a week off and not going on vacation, but taking a week off to work on yourself, to work on your business, and to give yourself a trial run is huge, because if you do that, especially in the military where you're still getting paid, that's phenomenal. But if you buy yourself a week off or pay yourself so that you can take a week off, you're investing in your future in a way that is very unique, but will allow you to see what your weaknesses are, and then you know where to invest. And I think that's brilliant. So thank you very much. Next up, we got Jay.Monopoly, a big Instagram dude, a true hustler. This man is wholesaling 6 figures a month. I met him in Oceanside at the North San Diego County Real Estate Investor Association meetup, and the dude is just crushing it. So check out what he's got to say.
Guys, so if I qualified for the $1,200 stimulus check, what I would do, right? And let me tell you my reasoning behind it, right? I would invest into education, right? Because realistically, $1,200 itself isn't gonna make you rich or wealthy. But you know what will make you rich and wealthy? The right mindset. The right mindset will 100% get you to where you want to go, right? So that's what I would personally invest in. Not the whole thing, right? Not the whole thing, right? But whatever industry you're looking to pursue, I would invest in learning more about the ins and outs of that industry, right? Whether you have to pay someone for their time or, pay for a course or something like that. But you just got to make sure that the person who you're paying for their time or the person you're paying for that course has the results that you want, because only someone who has the results you want can teach you how to get it, right? You're not going to take fitness advice from fat people, let's be honest. That's what I would do with that $1,200 stimulus check.
Again, with some solid advice about investing in yourself and your education and your mindset, because that will make you money, as is true. And I know it's true for him because he's branching into different industries. He's crushing it in all of them. Jay's the youngest millionaire I've ever had on my podcast and one of the youngest millionaires I know, hustling. And I think it's brilliant that he mentioned to niche down to a specific industry and then figure out who it is that's doing what you want to do, not who's selling what you want to buy or selling the dream you want. Who's legitimately living the life you want, and then find a way to get close to them. Find a way, even if you got to pay to play, whatever. Find a way to rub elbows with them and learn from them and see how you can get from where you are to where they are, because they've done it. Next up on the millionaire journey, we have Jeff Rose of Wealth Hacker Labs, who is phenomenal. He's another podcast guest. His YouTube channel is amazing. In fact, it's my wife's favorite financial YouTube channel that I watch. He's just really good. He's got a really cool background that I'm super jealous of. Jeff, take it away.
What's going on, y'all? This is Jeff Rose from Wealth Hacker Labs. If I were to give any advice on how to invest your stimulus check if you want to get rich, well, first, you got to have the foundation. So you got to have your emergency fund. You got to have your debt in order. But as far as getting rich, the thing that you don't want to invest into are wants. So are you wanting a new TV? Are you wanting a new pair of shoes, a new wardrobe, whatever those are? Like, those ain't gonna get you rich. You might look rich, you might feel rich, but the reality is that they're not going to increase your net worth. So you want to invest that money into some sort of asset. Now, preferably an income producing asset. You might be able to buy something on the short term. Maybe it's a stock, maybe it's flipping something on eBay or Amazon. And that's good if you want to double your money or maybe even triple your money really quick. But preferably, you want to invest into something that's going to generate income, not just today, but also later. I think one of the best things that you can invest into is increasing your knowledge up here. And that is either buying a course, buying a book, maybe it's investing into some sort of coaching program, investing into a mentor, something that's going to give you valuable information, valuable experience that you don't have up here that can totally change your future outcome for years to come. If I were to invest my stimulus check, that's where I'll be putting my money.
I think that's a very good point. Buying wants is what you want to do. That's why they're called wants. But it's not what you need to do. What you need to do is invest in yourself or buy something that will produce a return that will pay for itself day over day, month over month. And I think that's very, very powerful. So instead of indulging yourself in the short term, take the long-term play and invest in yourself over the long term. Invest in income producing assets, invest in coaching, invest in mentorship, invest in masterminds, whatever that looks like to help you improve. Next up, we have Bill Allen of 7-Figure Flipping, also hosting Veterans Live, the real estate investor conference for service members. Bill is one of the best business owners that I know and also one of the most generous. So let's hear what he has to say.
Hey everybody, this is Bill Allen from 7-Figure Flipping, and my good friend David Pere asked me to answer this question for you guys. If you were eligible for the stimulus, how would you spend it? So my answer is in two parts. I think the first answer that I have is how would I spend it before I really ramped up my business and actually had some money? So to answer it then, I was a big saver. So my recommendation for that stimulus money would not be to go out and blow it and spend it. And that's what a lot of people are going to do. So for me, what I used to do when I got a bonus or anything is I would fill up my tax preferred accounts. So my IRA, if I hadn't filled up my Roth IRA, I would just dump it in there and use that to self-direct and invest in real estate or whatever you do for your investments with your self-directed IRA. And then if I'd already filled that up, then I would go to my 401k. So for some of you, it might be TSP. So I would take the amount of money that I got and just basically ramp up my TSP from the military and use that money to supplement what I wasn't getting paid for my paycheck. Or if you have a solo 401k or something like that, then I would use that to fill it up or have a match portion of it. So that's what I would do. And then if I'd already done that, then I would start thinking about potentially funding my life insurance policies. So I use a whole life policy with paid up additions. So I would look at potentially paying that in towards that for the annual. And then if that's already full, then I would use that into an investment account. So hopefully you've set aside an investment account that you're only using to maybe save money for your down payment on your next duplex or triplex or quad or multifamily building or whatever it is. So I would basically save it and not spend it. So that's what I would do. I would say now, if I did get that check today, where I had kind of made some more money, I was more financially free like I am right now, then I would donate it. So I'm big on tithing and giving. And I actually did, when everybody got their stimulus check, I was on a virtual summit, and I actually donated what we would have gotten towards that charity and that organization. Because I really do think that money is this kind of, it's a currency, right? It moves like water, like the current, and it flows. So one of my mentors told me, like, money is a currency that's meant to flow. And I know that the more that I give, the more that I receive. So that would be my recommendation. That's what I would do now. So when I was building up my company and saving money and living frugally, then I would pump it into a savings. I would not spend $1 of it, and really just kind of put it towards whatever that next path for me was, primarily some tax preferred accounts. So that's my answer. Hopefully it works for you guys. See you.
I really like Bill's approach here of what I would do then and what I would do now if I got the money, to really put in perspective kind of that mindset change as you go along the millionaire journey. And I think that saving and the Roth IRA, Roth TSP, I think those are all great answers. The tax advantage accounts and investing in places where you're not going to lose the money, but you're going to get a lot of benefits from taxes or whatever, I think that's very valuable. I think that's a very smart way to use your money and save and look for opportunities and invest. I also really like the fact that he mentioned donating. I think the phrase currency is very, very valuable. This all comes down, there's a book called The Go-Giver, there's The Law of Attraction, there's a lot of good books about the idea of money being currency, and the more you spread it around, the more it comes back to you, the more you push it away and give it to people, the more it comes back to you. It's that abundance mindset, not the scarcity mindset that says I have to hold on to every penny, but the abundance mindset that says, you know, I'm gonna make this money keep rolling and I'm gonna take advantage of, helping people, and I had some good fortune, so I'm going to donate. And I know that that's said, but I know it's very true. I know that Bill is a very generous man, and I also know that Bill is a very wealthy man. And I think that those obviously correlate together and coincide. I think he's very, very smart. I think he's a very nice guy. I'm a huge fan, so Bill, thank you very much for contributing. All right, now I had thought that I was gonna sit here and tell you my point of view on this, but I realized two things. One, you didn't smash the like button enough, so you don't deserve that. I'm joking, obviously. You don't really care to hear my opinion on that. You care to hear all these guys' opinions because I'm still on the journey like you guys. They have already made it. But I want to give some of my thoughts on this real quick. So the first thing I noticed is that 3 of the 7 said save and 4 of the 7 said invest in yourself. So clearly holding your money and looking for opportunities and investing in yourself while growing are 2 very smart answers. Some of them said both of those answers. And if I was to do it and I was to tell you what I thought, that would be my answer. I actually did get part of the stimulus, and what I did was I took some of that money and dumped it into Vanguard accounts for my kids, index funds that'll just roll with the flow until they get older so that compound interest has time to work for them. I also invested recently in a camera that's gonna help my YouTube channel, and then obviously I buy books all the time, so I'm just gonna throw whatever cash is left into that book fund and reinvest it there. So I obviously agree with those things. I'm also buying a house right now, and that's because I'm a saver and I was able to hold on to cash to save up for that. Otherwise, I probably would have put this into the fund to save instead of buying a camera. Again, I just want to key in on the fact that I really liked what Bill said about donating and about currency. I think that's very, very valuable. So just don't forget that being abundant and having an abundance mindset is very valuable and very powerful. Joseph's idea of taking a full week off work to focus on what you want to do and buy yourself time, I think that's really cool. It's a very unique idea, and I'm a huge fan of that because it's not what anyone else would suggest doing, but it's really cool and it will help you out a lot in the long run. I took a few notes on who specifically talked about like niching down into education on like specific subject, a specific subsect, whatever, to learn in that one area or follow someone specific, like how to really get into what you want to do. And it came out that it was John, Jay, Jeff, and Jay. And I guess all the J's like investing in niche education, I don't know. Hey, if you got something out of this video, please subscribe, click the little notification bell so that you hear when we have new content, and also comment down below what you did or what you're going to do with your stimulus because I want to hear other opportunities.